This Ridley-O is brought to you by LRN.FM. Feds don't want you to hear them.
Now there is a class that is being taught by one of the Confucius Center exchange professors, or visiting professors, I'm not sure what the exact term is. And what I'd like to do is try to question her on the way to class, on the way to her class. That is fairly likely to achieve a police response. But as you know, each thing that I do would be have a slightly greater chance of triggering that police response. I guess the next thing I would do if I can is go hold this sign right next to the Confucius office inside and see how long I last. I should probably give you some background. One of the things that brought me out here was that I was trying to set up a speech by a Chinese dissident here, and I contacted Young Americans for Liberty. They were immediately interested and then went unresponsive. So I'm wondering if there's some kind of restrictions on speech. And I was told by the Young Americans for Liberty guy, the student president of that organization on campus here, that if we tried to give a speech, on a sidewalk or something like that with a megaphone, there would be a police response. There would be a police response. With regard to me and China, I'm not really, an expert, but I certainly support many of the Chinese government's positions vis-a-vis free trade with the United States and so forth. But ultimately, I've had to conclude that the Chinese government is going down the Soviet path, and they're kind of a menace to the world. There have been incidents, where they're controlling, censoring Hollywood movies, and they had a student in Australia was arrested for organizing, well, not arrested, but he was suspended from school for organizing a demonstration in favor of a free Hong Kong. And he was beaten up by thugs who were later praised by the Beijing embassy Beijing's embassy in Australia. These kinds of things are expanding the Chinese government's dick-waving process out way beyond China, and it's starting to affect the United States. But as I walk over to this class to try to question this teacher from China, I should probably make clear that I'm not really against the Confucius Center's being here. I would have felt lucky in 1993 if there had been a Serbian embassy in my state back when I lived in Kansas, that I could go complain to or protest in front of. Of course, this is not an embassy. It's not even a consulate, but it's sort of the Chinese government's branch in New Hampshire, the closest thing they have to one in New Hampshire. So that's where the Confucius class is supposed to happen. I believe it's a Mandarin class, Mandarin language. Oh, well, the class was a bust. No one was there. It may have happened virtually or been canceled, or the schedule I saw may have been incorrect. I had a feeling that I was warm, but it wasn't. It wasn't to be. There are people in the Confucius Institute office, but I do not want to just barge into someone's office. That's generally not what I do. So I've come up with another idea. I will stand right outside the door, not blocking the way or anything, and I will hold my Free Hong Kong sign aimed into the window so they won't be able to miss me. And we'll see how they react. You know, I've seen only one video like of a protest at a Confucius Institute. It was in Canada, and the Confucius people were actually pretty nice. They didn't lose their minds over the protest, even though there was an annoying cameraman, more annoying than me, getting in their face. They didn't even get mad at him. Now, I'm not sure they were Confucius Institute people, but they were people that were there to protest in support of keeping the Confucius Institute in place. Well, as long as no one's here, I guess I'll just get some shots of the exterior. And the interior, you paid for it. Well, actually, maybe you didn't, unless you're watching from China. The mission of spreading Chinese culture and language. Nothing wrong with that part. So I guess for now I'll just stand at a spot where I can be seen with the sign. The parking services doesn't seem to be in any kind of hurry at all to get across the street. Well, I gotta leave soon, but at least I can pump them with a selfie. Well, I ran out of time. Gotta leave campus. Maybe next time I will be able to question my first Chinese government worker. On average, I only make it out to Durham about once every 3 years. And it could easily be another 3 years before I'm back. So what would really help is if you could do this. You take a sign and wave it in front of the Confucius Institute during office hours. And see how long you last. Maybe bringing friends isn't a terrible idea in this circumstance. Post it on YouTube.